Angel Rebo, known as the CEO Confidant.
Is an influencer, international TV host, public speaker, CEO consultant, board member, and philanthropist.
I was always doing the same thing. So I was always helping my employers to develop their businesses. I think that business leaders now need to be conscious like never before. They need to hear different messages.
Angel has empowered more than 1,500 CEOs in 33 different countries and speaks 5 languages.
Hello, everybody. This is Angel Rebo, the CEO Confidant, with another show of the CEO Confidant TV. And we are here today again with Mr. Neville Joffe, the executive educator. Hi, Neville. How are you?
Good. How are you, Angel? Good to see you.
Good to see you. So just to put things in reference so that you know, Neville is an executive trainer, executive educator. He's trained more than 20,000 C-level executives and business operators in large corporations for the last 25 years. I'm talking about companies like Hallmark Cards, Campbell's Soup, Constellation Brands, and many others. So, we're going to have the conversation around our conversation around chapter number 9 of your latest book, which is called, The Baker's Dozen Rules of Highly Successful Business Operators. And the title of the book is pretty straightforward. I love it. It's Poppen, which might not tell you much yet, but when I tell you what Poppen means, it will. If your process or proposed plan doesn't improve equity, the answer is no. That's a pretty provocative, thought-provoking title, Neville, don't you think?
Yes. So it's just some background to this. During all my teachings for the last lot of years, I've often had CFOs or financial people sitting in my business literacy workshops, not about them learning this material, but rather how to communicate this with their own employees. And I used to hand out a certificate, I still do actually, hand out a certificate of Poppen to say if your process or proposed plan does not improve equity, the answer is no. I see the CFOs pasting this to their door.
Right.
So if somebody were to walk in and ask for more budget or ask for another resource, they point to the certificate on or this document on their door and say, if you cannot explain to me how what you're requesting improves equity or EBITDA, depends how you use the E, go back to the drawing board and come back to me with a business plan or a reasonable explanation. Because people are so used to asking for things without actually justifying the financial implications of what they're asking for, or understand that they shouldn't be looking at numbers in isolation, which is another chapter of the book. Don't examine numbers in isolation. Understand the touch points.
Right.
Or this financial decision that you've now made.
Why would you say that people, it sounds so natural and so obvious, but it's not the case. Why do you think this is not the case, that typically people don't have this in their mind before making a business decision?
One word for it, Angel: naivety.
Naivety.
People are naive. People are financially naive. And I know the listeners have heard this expression before, but people don't know what they don't know. They don't know what they don't know. They never or rarely apply their mind to all the touch points, all the resources that are affected as a result of a decision. So, for example, someone in marketing may say, we're going to put out a marketing initiative. It's going to cost us $100,000. And we're going to increase revenue. Okay. So it happens to work. We increase revenue. Maybe it's a wonderful marketing campaign, but how many of the people in the organization, we're putting the CFO aside here, how many people in the organization actually have thought about what other resources are affected when revenues increase? Have they thought about how much volume you're going to sell when you step up a cost? Have they thought about the amount of cash flow that is required? Have they thought about the impact to profitability, which is affected with equity? So in the absence of everybody understand the financial implications of these decisions, these people are working in a vacuum, examining numbers in isolation, which is another chapter. Don't examine numbers in isolation.
It was pretty shocking to listen to you when you said naivety, right? Because obviously there's so much money spent in education in corporate, right? So naivety. So have you actually tested or tried or asked, what would you say is the rate of financial illiteracy in corporations today?
Oh my word, Angel! We've polled people over the last almost 25 years using various methodologies, and according to our testing, I'm talking about non-financial people now, operators, whether it be executives, I'm including senior executives in companies, right down to grassroots. The average level of financial literacy is less than 40% at a basic level. Expressing this another way, the majority of people are 60% financially illiterate.
Wow.
I mean, you know how scary that is?
Yeah,
can you imagine how much profit is left on the table, if you will, by making financial decisions that have a financial implication and they don't even know it?
How can the training that you deliver, right? The training that you've been delivering and that you deliver today, how can it help organizations to do a better job?
So if you look at the framework on the top corner of my screen, you'll see that it says sustainable profits and cash flow. That's the reason why we're in business. It should drive sustainable profits and cash flow. Your investors don't really care that much about what we do. They really care about profits and cash flow in the end. But to do that, nobody can do it alone. So the objective of our education programs is to help. Well, first, let me go back one step. You'll see on the top it says accountability. It's not reasonable to hold people accountable if they're not engaged in the decision-making process and if they're not educated. Right. It's just not reasonable. So it is incumbent upon the leadership of an organization to ensure, however they do this, to ensure that people are engaged in the process of decision-making, and that they are educated to understand the financial implications of the decisions, always pointing to the ultimate reason why we're in business, which is profits and cash flow. In the absence of which they are operating in a vacuum, and it is so dangerous.
So according to your experience, what do you think makes the way that you've been training, you've been educating, business operators in the last 25 years, what makes it different?
I think it's fair to say that there are many non-financial people that would rather have root canal without anesthesia than have to sit down and go through and learn about finance, accounting, anything related to the word finance. Herein lies the issue. It's because of that companies are not losing money, but losing the opportunity to have made so much more money by people being aware. This is not about turning people into accountants. It's not about debits and credits. It's got nothing to do with any of that. It's got to do with understanding the story behind the numbers on a set of financial statements, because that is all your shareholders care about. That is the scorecard that will tell them success or failure of a business. Therefore, everyone needs to understand what the scorecard, the statements will look like as a result of their decision. And everything should point to it, in the absence of which they're making naive decisions, to the point I made earlier on.
Wow. If people would like to know more about this, Neville, what's the best way to connect with you?
Oh, I love a good debate. Just contact me, Neville, Neville, at bizwisdom, bizwisdom.com. I'd be delighted to share more information with you and to tell you how you can go about getting your people literate and making fiscally responsible decisions.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you very much for being with us today and for sharing so much, Neville.
You're most welcome, Angel. Pleasure as usual.
Absolutely. And everybody listening and watching us today, thank you very much for being with us today. It's been a pleasure to have you here. I'm sure that you have enjoyed this conversation with Neville Joffe as much as we have, and we hope to see you soon in our next show. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye for now.
Thank you so much for watching our show today. The entire team of the CEO Confidant appreciates your time and attention. If you think that you are a good fit for the CEO Confidant TV, please connect with us on LinkedIn. We hope that you enjoyed today's show as much as we did. See you soon. Angel Ribo, the CEO Confidant. Email address angel@angelribo.com. Don't forget to follow me on LinkedIn. Thank you.